Hi YouTube, here's a little bit of my dad's tie collection, many of them going back to the 1930s. You know, I was always fascinated by his ties when I was growing up. He had a big drawer full of ties, and these are, I still have most of them, and if not all of them, and here coming up are a few of them here, and I hope you enjoy it. Thanks for watching. Well, here we go. Here's a picture of my dad, and he was always a big fan of wearing ties, and that's probably from the picture of him from the teens. And just panning to the right a little bit, there he is, maybe a little younger, and with a friend of his back then, Hazel Bartlow, but I remember her name. And if we pan out here a little bit, pan out better. There we go with the first collection of ties. There's ones in there, like I said, I don't know how to date them. They're probably from, some of them, you know, from the 30s, maybe even earlier, up to like probably the late 80s, the different ones that I'll be showing. But these are the ones that, you know, I'm starting out with here. And I was trying to correspond some pictures with the ties, but most of the pictures I have are, the vintage ones are in black and white, so they were almost impossible to do, but there are a few coming up. And here's another set. And here's some clip-ons. I think a couple of these might have been mine when I was in school, along with a here is a all-silk bow tie from the old May Company. And excuse the gloves, a good friend of mine, thank you Jane, she told me that the oils in handling the ties is bad for the ties. So I wear like these little gloves to take care of them. There's a picture of my dad in the early 60s. And as close as I can tell, that's the bow tie he was wearing in the picture. There's a picture of my mom and dad on their wedding day in 1956. And a close-up of that picture with the tie he was wearing. And I believe this is the original tie, and I have this in another video actually. Now this picture was from 1989, and that's my dad on the left, and the strange-looking goon on the right is me. And totally absurd, 20 years later, there's the ties we were wearing in the picture. Now, if memory serves correct, this tie is one of my favorite ties and kind of a prized possession, because if memory serves correct, the knot was actually tied by my dad over 20 years ago, and I would always like loosen up the tie and make sure not to pull it all the way off so I would lose the knot. So there's a close-up of the knot that I am almost certain my dad tied. And he passed away in 1991, so I always think of him when I wear this tie. Well, to end on a totally absurd note, I'd like to paraphrase an old saying if you're having trouble making your own knots, tying your own ties. Remember the old saying, if at first you don't succeed, tie again. Well, thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Bye-bye.